Welcome back, everybody. President Trump has big infrastructure plans for the United States, but the airlines are not waiting around. They're already taking off with their own upgrades. Phil LeBeau joins us right now from Salt Lake City, Utah. And Phil, what can you tell us?
Becky, a lot of airlines are saying, look, we need to invest in new terminals, and here's the reason why. Look at the rise in the number of people flying in the United States over the last 45 years. Last year, almost 800 million people flew. It won't be long until we have 1 billion people flying in the U.S., and those people are increasingly finding this when they go to different airports around the country. Old, tired airports. It's estimated we need to spend about $75 billion to either rebuild or renovate all the airports in the United States. That's part of the Trump administration's infrastructure plan, though they haven't put a price tag on it yet. Here in Salt Lake City, they're not waiting. They're actually building an all-new airport. That includes Delta taking its hub here in Salt Lake City and building an all-new terminal for that hub, part of $12 billion that the airline is investing in infrastructure projects around the country.
Security, gate boarding, check-in will all be completely revamped and offered in a way that reduces stress, reduces variability, and creates a more service-oriented and less stressful experience.
As you take a look at the airline index versus the S&P 500 over the last 3 years, keep in mind that what Delta is doing, we're seeing being done with other airlines as well. They're working with the airport saying we need to update these terminals as quickly as possible. Guys, you fly as much as I do, and you know which airports, when you're scheduled to go somewhere, you just kind of roll your eyes and go, oh, please, just get me in and out as quickly as possible. Because there are some real dogs in this country. Salt Lake City is actually a pretty nice airport, but it was built in 1961. It's time for it to be updated, and that's what they're doing. Coming up a little later on this morning, we're going to go out to the construction site. You will see how they're building this new airport here.
Phil, you mentioned the dogs, and you kind of think of the three of them that we end up dealing with in this area constantly. Like, please, which terminal am I flying out of?
They're not like the dogs. They're not like the dogs of the Dow.
No, they're not coming back next year.
And the problem is, guys, the problem in the East Coast, you're landlocked. So you're not only having to update those airports. In many cases, you're building a new airport on the land right next to the existing airport. They have to be
trying
done.
to do that without while they have an enormous number of flights that are coming
these.
through constantly doing these things. You get it. You understand why it's complicated, but man.
But Phil, does infrastructure include a baggage system? Because I'll walk down. I don't care. I'll walk up an escalator that's broken. But, I mean, depending on which airport,
to get your bags,
sometimes I get to the baggage claim, like in Jacksonville, and my stuff is like, where you been? It's like waiting for me, you know? Newark, it's been as long as the flight at different times. Most of the time, I'm in there filling out the for lost luggage when it finally comes.
That's all part of the update of these airports. It is the baggage system as well. But, Joe, you just hit on it. You mentioned certain airports, and immediately you go, oh, no. Please, I don't want to fly into there. But you're stuck. You're stuck. That's where you have to go.
Just carry on only. Carry on.
I know. I've seen. Yeah, and what happened to you? Did you ever get your stuff from Davos, or it's still there? Did you ever get it?
I haven't yet.
You really haven't?
No.
Lucky your
Lucky
your prescription drugs weren't in there. If you know what I'm talking about.
I
you know what I mean?
have no idea what you're talking about.